Well, here we are. It is, I guess this is the official start of day 4. I'm going to call it day 3 and a bit for now. By the way, if you haven't watched any of the other videos about this road trip from San Francisco to New York in the Volkswagen ID4, then please subscribe, like, and look in the description. You can see the videos that came before this and tell you how we got to this point. So what's the situation right now? Well, it is 5:15 local time, an unusual time to start a road trip, but this is where we are. We've just left Grays Lake, Illinois, having done the most important thing, which was pick up some new shirts, some new polo shirts from Old Navy, because my wife wants me wearing something nice for the weekend in New York. Hard to believe that I don't live in $6t-shirt.com t-shirts. I know. Anyhow, she is going to follow tomorrow in the van we rented from Hertz earlier on up in Wisconsin. That's its own story, but whatever. So she's going to leave here at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning and do a straight shot to the Airbnb in just outside New York City. Technically it's a 10 flight, if anybody particularly cares. We will have left by the time you see this, but just for those of you playing at home, in the car we have my father-in-law, Jerry, and everybody's favorite. I read the comments, and so co-pilot London is back there. Now, she's not saying hi right now, and not because she's been fried with chicken and french fries. She's quiet because she has been playing since 8 o'clock this morning with her favorite dog show friends, Trent and Pop. And she was awake just long enough to ask for her iPad before she passed out. So I'm going to let her have a nap for an hour. I'm going to wake her up at 6 o'clock, because if I don't, she won't sleep tonight. If she doesn't sleep, I won't sleep. So we'll reintroduce you, but she's very excited to see you all, I assure you. So let's talk about what's our situation with the car. So I got in last night with 20% state of charge, which was fine. I briefly charged at the dog show, but then I had a load of errands to run. I'm sorry to say that Nancy and Nico, who you met, the younger dogs, he ran away. He got out of his run and he has run away. And so she's currently running a search party all over Grays Lake, Illinois to find him. I have hope and faith that he will be fine, especially when he gets hungry. What that did for me is that I had to drive Danica up to go and pick up the car that was meant, the van that was meant to be 1.5 miles away, ended up being 40 miles away, and that's 80 for us round trip. The nearest Electrifying America station was actually to my southwest, in a place called Lake Zurich. And I did check, you'll see it in the thing, but I didn't do a review of the site. It's Bank of America, 4 chargers, all 150s, 1 Chatamo. There's a load of food around it. There's a Taco Bell if you're really desperate. There's a supermarket with restrooms. Hey, look, it's a review. Everything worked, charged pretty quick, ramped to 12%, ramped to 126. I did do a 20-minute charge at EVgo at a rest stop. It was literally the only thing around. I literally just charged it to 100 miles. I couldn't even tell you what the SOC, well I could, but I didn't bother looking. Because I had Mrs. Regular EV with me. She doesn't really care about these things, and I just conveyed the minimum amount of information. It's a slow, fast charger. Just going to get the car, come back, I'll charge up, do my other errands. Everyone was fine. Bigger issue was that we then got the report of Nancy and her missing dog. So we will pull into Medina, which I guess is Ohio. Yeah, I think it is. We're staying at Holiday Inn Express for the night. I know, fancy, not a Motel 6. Reason being, I have a ton of points that they're burning a hole in my pocket. We have no dog with us, it's just as humans, so I don't have to care about that. And what you and I both care about is that it has 2 Tesla destination chargers and a J1772. So that is our stop for the night. And then we will make a late charge, probably leave around 10ish, 9 o'clock, 10ish in the morning, and complete our run to New York City. Where are we right now? Well, we're leaving with about 60% state of charge. We're going to try and crack 140 miles to University Park Mall. And I'm not even going to pronounce. I couldn't remember the name. I couldn't remember if I wanted to, but I garbled the pronunciation so badly to Waze that it corrected me. Monakashi wasn't paying enough attention, just needed to get out and get gone. So my apologies for being partially responsible for loss of your lands and then destroying the naming of it in a YouTube video. So that's going to be our first stop, our first of allegedly just 2 stops. Now this is literally on the fly. I will look at that strategy when we stop at the first place. I know there was a stretch around Toledo and the lights where I was going to have to do some long, slower stretches. We'll investigate that once we get stopped. Right now, it's 5 o'clock and I'm trying to get through Chicago. So this is just whatever, we'll deal with that when we get there. With that in mind, as efficiency is the game of getting there quickly, I'm afraid the view from the time lapse is going to be the back of a lot of trucks because I don't have a huge amount of spare ions on this, and I do have a 6 to 9 mile headwind. So we're going to be using the drafting strategy. We're setting the speeds to 75, like that, using travel assist, and we're going to just stare at that DHL truck ahead of us for as long as we can. A couple of seconds, in a minute or two, we're going to pull off onto, right now I'm on 94 heading south. I'm going to pull off onto 294 towards O'Hare, and I assume that's going to hook me back up with 80. I mean, that was possibly one of the best constructed streams of consciousness I've done for a while, or after 3 days of sharing these things with you, we're really getting close to delivering what you want when you want it. If that is the case, then please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the like button, asking questions in the comments. Everyone gets an answer, whether you like it or not, not always the case. And ring that bell, because hit that bell button, because there's going to be a lot of content over the next few weeks. ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. After 3 days of watching these videos with just me, Nancy, and the dogs, the reason we know you're here, after her long, extensive tour of the subcontinent, after her barnstorming performance singing at the top of her voice at a dog show in Colorado in Estes Park, following that, her amazing performance in Cheyenne, Wyoming, in someone's backyard, of which I saw the video the other days, it is my honor, my privilege to bring to you, all the way from the back seat. It's a little bit dark because we got the Milo, but ladies and gentlemen, co-pilot London, say hi.
Hi.
There she is, she's awake. Oh, so what have you been doing for the past? You've been with Mommy and Grandpa?
There is a lost that is parking train Skynet, but it went on the train.
Oh, you've been with she's been with her friends Parker and Trent as well. Yeah, and have you been having fun while you've been away with Mommy?
And there was a lost dog on the train, and we can get it.
Yes, there's a puppy who's got lost.
Go back to my dad to get a lead, and then come back to here, and then get my nail polish done.
She's gonna get her nail polish done. There's quite a lot going on. She's very busy, as you can imagine. So we're heading towards New York, and we're going to the big dog show, aren't we, London? You're going with Mummy and Chad, and who's that other lady you're going with? Is it Auntie Lisa?
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, such a build-up before. To be fair, she's been napping.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
She's been napping, and so she's been away for about 3 songs. So you get what you get. Anyway, traffic's just lunacy. My inner resident Californian is like, why don't you have HOV lanes? All these single occupancy vehicles. We have questions about the construction techniques of your bridges, what you do, but well, we are here in Bend, Indiana, I think. The Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, the home of TV movies that my wife watches every year. Go Rudy. And we are gonna plug in, charge up. It's fairly deep charge, and so this will be interesting to see. The comparison with the hard run we've been doing the last 3 days, whether we get to maintain that kind of charging profile. So we're coming in, everything's orange, 33, 32, 33 centigrade on the pack and inlets, which is a good place. And then we're going to hopefully get a quick hard charge. Now, Better Route Planner is saying 46 minutes to 77% coming up from 3. So we will see. We will, given the hour, given the outside temperatures, it's what is it as we come in? It's 80 outside. I'm going to hope that 77 holds. We'll see how long that takes. We do need to eat. We do need to do ablutions. So I'll let you know as we leave. Hang in there and enjoy all that is green and Irishy. Going to do a separate report on this site because it would be a very negative one. We pulled in at 3% SOC with hot battery. Still got a good battery right now, running at 24, and we are receiving a maximum of 90 kilowatts. Changed the charger twice, maximum of each time consistently, just a maximum of 90, 91. It's reporting 1991 deliveries, only 89 and a half. So this is where it gets tough. Our hotel is available to our Airbnb is available to us from 3 o'clock tomorrow, and I want to maximize our time in New York, not on the road. However, the option was, as per one of my original plans, was to stay here in Bend at the inn in the St. Mary's Inn, which had Tesla chargers, and but if we do that, even with a fair wind and the best charging profile, we wouldn't get in until after 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So basically, we have to push on nighttime driving to Medina, get in after 2, leave at 8, give ourselves a lie-in, and leave at 8 in the morning. And we'll get into New York sometime after 5, around 5. So it's 4:21, but we all know the realities of life. So, yeah, I have left a negative review on a charger, but it's charged, Jim, just not as we know it. Alright, we're going to be here for at least another 30 minutes, and we've already been here for whatever it's 9. Well, 9 minutes on that one and 12 minutes on that one. So yeah, this is a I'll put both sets of data into the edit, and I think, given the fact that I'm wearing all black and this is the only illumination I've got, I think we may be doing the rest of tonight's recording as a voiceover, just so you're aware. Alright, let you know what time we leave, anything else that happens. See you in a different state. Have fun. I'm going to be nice about this, but one thing I didn't factor into this is an 81-year-old man's bladder. Just saying. How you doing? I'll put the light on, not that I think it'll make much difference. We're charging at 120, well, 120, it says 129 on there. Let's just turn that down. It's 125 delivered, so ignore the overhead. But let's just very quickly restart a better route planner because it was having a bit of a moment. So our starting point is here, and we're going to use live data, 29%, perfect. Okay, so it is saying that we should only be here for 24 minutes, and that will bring us in for 24 minutes, an additional 24 minutes. Given how we've only been here for, I don't know, a handful of minutes, that's not really that big of a deal. We have, just going to Google, exactly 100 miles to go. Theoretically, we could leave in a before that. That's giving me a 20%. Now, the issue is, and let's just verify this, and this is great for you to see this in real time. So I'm very quickly going into plug share. You don't need to have two phones. I do, but that's because I'm weird. Medina Messina. Wait, where am I going? I've forgotten. I'm going to Holiday Inn Express Hotel Gateway Drive. Medina? Where am I going to? Oh, Medina. Helps if you can spell it, John. Alright, so we're going to Medina, Ohio. So we're going to put the light back on. Turn that on, turn it on. Okay. She's so cute. So we're going to Medina. And just turn that off. Connectors. Tesla and J1772. So, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at 5185 Gateway Drive, which is where we're going, has 2 destination chargers and a J1772. According to the check-ins, and people, this is why it's so critical that you put the information about what charger level you got. Thankfully, a few people did, and they were pulling 13 kilowatts with an e-Golf. So that's 64 amps, methinks. So always put that information if you can. It's really helpful. So it says 13, we've got 10 kilowatts, so that's awesome. And if we look at the pictures, sometimes it's the pictures that give us the information. People are good enough to put 23 miles, 48 amps. That's what we need to see. And that was, well, that was a while ago. That was in 2017, but it's all we need to know. Up to 80 amps and 1 clicker at 32 amps available for patrons only. Well, that is awesome. So we'll work on the 32 amps, which will give us 6.6. So let's hope we can connect to the Tesla one, which would deliver 11 to us. Obviously, 7 hours to do it full. We're going to only have 5 hours of rest, believe it or not. Wow, not even that. It's 1:20 right now. We're going to get in 100 miles in an hour and a half. That's 3 o'clock. We've 5 hours. Crazy. Alright, well, the answer to the question is we need, I think we charged at 80. We charged at 80 and we do what we can. Let's say we charge to 80 and in the morning we can leave with 80. Hopefully I can make this, I'll make this make sense in the edit. But I would put Tenafly in, which is where we're heading to. 10, oops. 10, fill I. New Jersey, leaving with 80% and leaving at 8 a.m. The answer is leaving with 80% at 8 a.m. Our first charge will be at a Sheets. We haven't done a Sheets for a while. Not on this trip, I mean ever on this trip, but we used to come out to the East Coast every year. Well, 8.5 hours, 8:43, 460 miles, 4 charges. We know, I'm just looking at the map, we would probably add a charge. Yeah, we would stretch to, we would try and do a stretch to Dubois. Let's just see what that does. Can we get to, the question becomes, can we get to Dubois with can we get to Clarion is the bigger question apparently. Can we get to Clarion? We can, and we get in with 10% state of charge. There are 8 mile an hour winds predicted. The temperature will be 66, so we won't be running the AC. Alright then. So the plan is, regardless of whatever happens, we will, I mean, obviously we hope we'll charge quicker overnight, but we will leave as soon as we get to 80. We're going to charge to 80 here, and that's the strategy. We will charge to 80% here, and that should drop us in at 30. Once we come off at 80 or 90, whichever it is, we're going to go cross country. And drop down, so that'll lower our speed, improve efficiency. The question was what to do about using the EVgo. Do we do a quick charge at EVgo at 50 kilowatts or more often 44? And really, and I'll hold this for the rant I'll do in a minute, what is their value at this point? I know there's a lot of older cars using them, but they do a disservice, and they make EVs as a whole harder to stomach for those that don't know. Anyway, I will organize my thoughts and we'll have that rant as we drive. For now, we're going to hold here to 80. We are at 50 just in the time we've been talking. Still pulling at 98, which is impressive. Temperature's going up though. Temperature is hitting 40 all round Celsius through the pack. So interesting. Gonna be good to share this data at some point and have a greater discussion on that. Alright, for the moment, go make yourself another cup of tea, and we'll come back when we're on the road.
regular EV dad here from the future. I've got pneumonia and I'm editing this. And that's why it's late going it up. The great news is you're only going to have to, I think we've all learned from this, that once I get tired, my ability to construct a sentence that has any meaning and can be delivered in a short period of time is somewhat diminished. So if you are listening to these transcendental rants of mystery, then God bless you. Good news. You don't have to listen to my rant about EV Go, about whether 50 kilowatt acts as a disservice to the adoption of EV vehicles, because it turns out that the glitch I had meant I was recording everything in slow-mo, and in low light that's just not possible, and as such it doesn't look like anything, it barely even sounds like anything. So we're going to pull out at 32 minutes from Why and Not Service Plaza with 69%, because we could just easily take it slower, a little bit slower, and pull in. And I'll hand over to the blurry guy to close out this bit of the trip. Be safe. It's 10 past 3, it makes no difference. I'm coming in at 10% state of charge. I consider that a win. We'll let the car charge up overnight. We'll leave as soon as they hit 100. And I'll bring an end to this leg of San Francisco to New York. It's been fun. book.